intern. So we might meet the intern next month, but Kayla is our newest addition. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Excellent. Kayla, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad. So you come to the NRCS and in St. Cloud, and where was home for you originally?
Home would be southeastern Virginia.
Whoa. So you've come to Minnesota here, and have you got any family connections why you chose maybe to take this job here in Minnesota?
I do not. I saw a USA job listing. I was like, well, I don't have anything. I was told I don't have anything tying me down. You're young, they said. Go somewhere else, they said.
Okay, get some experience. And
Yeah.
so you came to St. Cloud and interviewed for the position. And so what was your driving force as you grew up out in Virginia? And why NRCS?
I have always had some drive towards plants and biology and found it interesting just in how they will breed certain crops to produce, your desired results, the size, frequency, and fertilizer and all that.
So did you grow up on a farm, or did you grow up in the country, or was that, what kind of family setting did you have back in Virginia?
Sort of mixed. My parents were military kids,
Okay.
and so they were moving around a lot, and they weren't really urban or country.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just got a kind of a mix of different settings.
So are you fresh out of college then, or have you
Yes.
had some experience with NRCS?
I am a graduate from Virginia Tech in December.
Okay. And your position now in St. Cloud, is this a full-time position, or is this considered an internship, or where did you do an internship if that was the case?
This is a full-time agronomist position at NRCS.
Wow. And interning, where did you intern? Somewhere else in the country? Or did you even intern?
I don't think I ever interned. I did undergraduate research instead.
Okay.
Because every time I looked at internships, they were all the way across the country.
So when Chris has maybe described some of your job duties in St. Cloud, what do you think he's going to have you doing in the country here? Or Chris, haven't you got to that point yet?
I'm not sure we've gotten to that part yet. We're doing a filing thing in the office. We're trying to move all of our files digital because we're running out of space in the office due to the Soil and Water Conservation District's expansion of how they're hiring all new people around, getting everybody staffed up. So as we get more staffed up, we're running out of space. So we're doing this file management thing, and Kayla, since she's new and started, is headed out to the field with folks and participating in this excellent opportunity to help manage files, which basically includes removing staples, photocopying, and scanning. So the excitement is overwhelming.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone's seen The Office, but that's about how it looks.
Yeah, there are a lot of boxes hanging around. We're supposed to be getting a contract to have a third party come through, and they'll take all the boxes and they'll scan all the stuff.
Sure.
And then they'll basically give us a digital copy back.
Someday it'll save paper.
Yeah. Someday it'll save paper and save space, but right now we're in the process of getting it set up. So that's a lot of what Kayla's doing, and then she spends whatever remaining time out in the field with other staff.
Okay.
So she can learn kind of what's going on and where things are happening and kind of just getting to know producers.
Right. The landscape of Minnesota compared to where you were born and raised.
Oh,
is
the
it totally
soil.
different?
The soil is beautiful. Like, it's actually soil.
Okay.
It's dark and rich looking.
Yeah.
Out there, it's just sand and
really?
silt.
Okay.
Like, Virginia's kind of cut in half a little bit between where the old ocean was
Sure.
and clays. But where I was living, it's just coastal plain. So it's just sand, really.
Wow. So that's an exciting part for you, just to see the different soil types here in Minnesota.
100%.
Wow. Dennis, you've been a little quiet over there.
Yeah, I have
think
been. I
that's
just want to make sure we have an opportunity for our guest to share
yeah.
some details about herself, and we're very excited to have her on our team in the office there because there's plenty of work to be done, not just the scanning of the old documents, but we've got a lot of outreach and conservation planning to be doing with our landowners. And
Sure.
there's going to be a lot of funding coming down the pipeline here. We keep talking about it, and there's a lot of climate smart stuff through NRCS that'll be coming down. Hopefully, we see an increase in that next year. We're looking at millions more here in Minnesota.
So for the listener out there and for the radio show host, separate your job titles, NRCS and Soil and Water, right?
Correct.
There is a distinct difference, right, Chris?
There is a difference. We, as the Natural Resources Conservation Service, or NRCS, we are a federal position, and we provide technical assistance for producers. We also will provide engineering services for engineering designs for earthwork type projects or manure storage type projects.
Okay.
Those are all provided without cost to the landowner, as we have time that allows. Sometimes we have, like in Stearns, we have a lot more workload than our staff can handle, so sometimes we have to reach out for what we call technical service providers, which will kind of assist the producer doing some work with engineering designs and helping us out. Mm-hmm. So it makes it kind of a partnership that we work together with. So that's the basic general gist of what NRCS in a nutshell.
So thus the need for hiring more like Kayla.
Correct. We have a lot of opportunities coming down the road. I mean, it is really an excellent time to be in conservation right now, because with the IRA being approved and the money and dollars that are going to be kind of maneuvered to the conservation and the producers, it's a really good time, because there's a lot of things that NRCS does for producers to assist them with getting practices implemented. And usually our barriers or our bottleneck is funding, and now with the extra funding, we could open up the doors to be able to really assist producers and really make things happen for them out in the counties.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy, Dennis, how, 100 years, 125 years where we had farmers clearing the land to basically grow crops and grow enough crops. That technology wasn't there to get 200 plus bushel an acre corn and just an enormous amount of soybeans. And so they were clearing the land. And now we're going back because that technology is there, right?
Exactly. We're identifying areas on the landscape where it's really productive and the right move to be growing crops. But there are other areas on the landscape where we're discovered, even some of our wetlands should be probably restored. Some of our forested areas, some of our prairie areas should be restored. So we're really trying to find those spots where you farm the best and buffer the rest type of philosophy. And that's something that we continue to work on with our landowners through conservation planning. Sure. I was going to mention that soil water conservation districts are slightly different than NRCS. We're co-located. SWCDs were created back in the Dust Bowl. President Roosevelt wrote to all of the state governors to encourage them to develop soil water conservation districts. Soil water conservation districts then invited NRCS in to be part of the local team. NRCS provides the technical expertise, and then the SWCD provides the local priorities that we need to be addressing. And it's been a great partnership. We're going to be celebrating 75 years next year. And NRCS has been around 80 plus years.
I didn't know you were going to dig that deep into history, so I can't pull you that one off. I don't have that one on the top of my head.
I know NRCS, which was the Soil Erosion Service when it was created, and then it turned into the Soil Conservation Service, and then now NRCS, the Natural Resources Conservation Service. But they've been around before that, and then it took a while in Stearns County. 1949 is when we came about.
Wow. We got a break here at 9:30 already. We got some news coming up, and then we will talk more with Chris and Kayla and Dennis here on Sara's Partyline. It is 9:30 and 69 degrees. Let's get our news from M&N.
Minnesota News Network, I'm Brent Palm. There's a funeral this morning in Worthington for Nobles County Attorney Joseph Sano. The South Dakota Highway Patrol says 44-year-old Sano was killed in a motorcycle crash Saturday near Madison. The Nobles County Board held a moment of silence for Sano at his meeting on Wednesday. He leaves behind a wife and 3 children. Well, after a fierce round of voting, the Minnesota State Fair has a new ice cream flavor that will be on sale at the Dairy Building.
The flavor? Cheers for Cherry. Beating out Churro Your Way and Cookie Time, the flavor comes in either malt or sundae with a decadent drizzle of dark chocolate on top. In a press release, Midwest Dairy says, quote, "We are thrilled to showcase Cheer for Cherries as the official flavor of the fair to celebrate Minnesota and the dairy community at this year's State Fair." Ashley Walker, MNN.
And the Minnesota Lynx shoot for their 5th straight victory tonight when the Phoenix Mercury visit Target Center. This is MNN.
The most informative half hour you'll spend listening to your radio. Minnesota Matters covers the important stories that matter to you and your family. Host Tasha Radel and her team of reporters cover the capital and the places in our state that will surprise and inform. Spend part of your weekend with us. Minnesota Matters. To hear a program, go to MinnesotaNewsNetwork.com. That's MinnesotaNewsNetwork.com. Serving the North Star State with the news and information you need.
I never knew that every time we used our boat, we could be carrying invasive species to a new lake.
Join thousands of boaters protecting Minnesota's waters at the Great Lakes AIS Landing Blitz. To learn more or find a location near you, visit glc.org/blitz.
It's 4 a.m. and you're sucking baby snot through a tube because she's congested. If you love her that much, love her enough to make sure she's buckled in the right car seat. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Dr. Keith Schlepper of Chiropractic Connection in St. Joseph has been treating Carla, a veteran of our armed forces, for back and neck pain, which she has had for years, since she was involved in an IED explosion in Iraq in 2007. Carla has seen great results from the treatment and care she has received from Dr. Keith Schlepper.
For a while there, the upper arm pain was so bad, I had a hard time washing my hair in the shower. And I don't notice the pain's not there. I do not wake up with pain anymore. And I know what to do when I do experience pain. He's given me the tools to be able to help control and get rid of my pain, manage my pain, which I'm just completely thankful for. I also used to take tons of acetaminophen and ibuprofen, and I haven't touched that easily in 2 months.
If living with pain is part of your daily routine, make an appointment to see Dr. Keith Schlepper of Chiropractic Connection. Call 320-363-4694 or see him online at drschlepper.com. Chiropractic Connection, connecting health with chiropractic.
KASM weather.
Cloudy skies expected this afternoon with a high of 76. Southwesterly winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Slight chance for scattered storms. Tonight, lows around 54. Cloudy skies. Bright sunshine expected. Tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 76. Highs level off around 83. Sunday, under mainly sunny skies. 85. Monday, chance for scattered storms. From the Weatherology Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on AM 1150 KASM.
Thank you, Jennifer. Currently 69 degrees in Albany on our Community Technology Weather Station. The humidity at 61% currently. That pressure is steady at 30.02, so nothing on the horizon for any kind of storm activity or rain activity the way it looks. Our sunrise came at 5:36, sets at 9:09 tonight as we lost a couple more minutes of our daylight today, going into today. Average high is 83. Average low is 61. Those winds blowing out of the south right now, 2 to 6 miles an hour. And like Jennifer said, looking for a high, the mid-70s today. Maybe a little rain in the mix later on tonight. Not going to amount to a whole lot. Less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. So currently 69 degrees. We're going to bring in some markets this morning on KASM. From Brownfield, it's your Chicago Board of Trade Markets. It's 9:35. More to come on Partyline after markets.
Cattle futures are higher on Friday morning. Hogs, corn, and soybeans are lower. I'm John Perkins with a Brownfield market update. The path to higher yields is now at your fingertips. Download the Stein Seed app today and access valuable in-depth agronomic information, their seed lineups, and more. Soybeans are lower this morning as near-term forecasts have mixed rainfall with better chances over the next couple of weeks in many areas. Weekly export numbers were bearish with Brazil continuing to dominate the market. August beans are 14 lower at 14.34 and a quarter. September's down 14 at 13.44 and a quarter. August bean meal $6 lower at 402.20 and August bean oil's down a point at 62.97. Corn's lower, watching the weather and the potential for rainfall in some of the drier areas over the next couple of weeks. Old crop export sales are up in the week, but the overall pace remains slow. Mexico did buy mostly new crop U.S. corn this morning. September's down 70 and a quarter at 491 and three quarters, and December corn's 8.5 lower at 498. And it's already been an up and down day for wheat, currently down. Rain is delaying the hard red winter harvest, but soft red winter yields are generally better than expected in much of that region. September Chicago's down 4 and a quarter at 653 and three quarters. Cotton's mostly higher on spread trade and oversold signals. December up 47 at 80.35 and March 49 higher at 80.28. Nearby rice is down on bear spreading with September 6.5 lower at 15.07.5 and November down 1.5 at 15.20.5. Live and feeder cattle are up, with feeders in the lead on this lower move in corn. Still some direct cash cattle trade to be done more than likely. August lives up 80 at 175.37. October's up 55 at 177.97. August feeders are $1.62 higher at 243.90. And hogs are down on yesterday's drop in pork. July leans $1.42 lower at 98.67. August is down $1.50 at 95.62. Crude oil's up modestly so far today. John Perkins, Brownfield.
The first 3 years of every child's life are critical. Learn more about early intervention. How your baby or toddler plays, learns, talks, acts, and moves give important clues as to how they are developing. If you have any questions or concerns about whether your baby or toddler's development is on track, please call 1-800-515-BABY. That's 1-800-515-2229. Call 1-800-515-BABY. That's 1-800-515-2229.
I see you finally got a new helmet.
I did. Bought it cheap online. Follow me. We'll turn off here.
I'm right behind you.
Watch the cars. They can be crazy.
Teddy! No! Are you okay? Somebody do something!
Was this young man hit by a car?
Yes, and his helmet is smashed.
It's a brand new helmet.
It's probably a fake. Fakes cause real harm. You're smart. Buy smart. Brought to you by the National Crime Prevention Council and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office.
There you go, your Chicago Board of Trade on KASM Radio. It is on Sara's Partyline, and joining us in studio this morning is Dennis Fuchs from Stearns County Soil and Water and Chris Hogge from the NRCS, and the newest employee at the NRCS, Kayla Weckworth, joining us too this morning here on KASM. Chris, you look like you want to say something.
I do, because you were asking the differences between the Soil and Water Conservation District and NRCS.
Yeah.
It's really... There are very unique differences, but our goal in the office is that when a producer walks in, that they don't know who is who and who works for who.
Okay.
And so we've really worked, Dennis and I have really worked very hard to make sure that that is the perception that producers get when they walk in the office. Soil and Water can pretty much do the same thing or work in the same programs as NRCS, and NRCS assists with the Soil and Water Conservation District. So when you walk into the office, you don't have to go in and say, hey, I need to talk to somebody from the Soil and Water Conservation District. You just get somebody from the office, and we can help. We have soil cons and staff that can help direct you to where you need to be so you can gain the assistance you need.
So let's look at the big picture here. Who should come and see you guys? Who should be coming to see the NRCS and Stearns County Soil and Water?
Anyone out there that's got a resource concern should come in and visit. And the resource concern could be everything from soil erosion to wildlife habitat to crop productivity, irrigation, water management, soil health. It's a variety of things. And then we also move into the shoreline and urban areas as an SWCD. And I know NRCS is also getting a little more involved with urban agriculture and helping folks get high tunnels, which are the greenhouses. So if you've got a piece of property and you just don't even really know what you can be doing with your property, come and visit and we'll develop a conservation plan. And look at what your goals are for the property and do the best we can. It could be forestry, it could be pasture. I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff that folks can be doing on their property.
There's a lot of property that people are just paying taxes on and know what to do with it, right?
Yeah, and forestry is a good example. I mean, we've got 100,000 acres of forested land here in Stearns County, with the Avon Hills.
I would have never thought that.
Yeah, and we've got over 50,000 acres of irrigated land here in Stearns County. So there's tremendous resource concerns just because of the variety of soils here in the county.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a number of conservation planners that are in the office that can help producers kind of develop their goals. I mean, they may have a vision of where they want to go, but they don't know how to get there. And we have staff in the office that have worked with other producers with similar goals, or maybe even the same goal, that they've assisted getting it all done and getting it all in place. So like Dennis said, if you have a resource concern that you have an issue with, that you need to or want to have somebody come out and look at, stop in the office and we'll take your name and we'll put you on the list, and we'll get somebody out there to look at your property and see and help you develop that plan and help you to develop the goals so you can get where you want to be. And everything from forestry to manure storage, we pretty much have somebody on staff or somebody that we can pull in to assist in that.
And I was just going to mention that our staff are trained in college and also receive training throughout their career, but they also gain a tremendous amount of knowledge working with our landowners here in the county. And they take that expertise and provide that information, technical assistance to our landowners to ensure, like, let's pretend they're moving into a reduced tillage or a soil health program with cover crops. We ensure that we take all of that experience and minimize the risk of our farmer to implement these conservation practices so that they're successful. And it's what we do. It's a great model. And, as Chris was talking, we're kind of seamless with our service. When a landowner comes in, they don't know if they're working with NRCS or the Soil Water Conservation District. And that's kind of unique. Stearns County is a unique model. There are some Soil Water Conservation Districts and NRCS offices that have now split. And we do not want to move in that direction. Our SWCD board is very supportive of keeping a commingled office that delivers seamless technical and financial assistance to our landowners.
Yeah. And if you're viewing that as a success, why change that, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's not just us viewing it as a success. It's our producers.
Okay.
And they really enjoy being able to walk into the office and meet with somebody face to face and have a conversation, no matter whether it's NRCS or Soil and Water. And it is the government, and we can't always give you the answer that you're looking for when you're in the office. That's just the way life is sometimes. But we usually always will get back to you and provide that information, or we'll come out and see you in your field, and we'll talk about what we can do to help you. And sometimes we can't. I mean, there's some things we just can't help producers with because it's outside of our scope of what we can do.
Sure.
But we can usually find resources for you to provide some type of assistance or direction to help you get there.
A good example would be, running a tile drainage through a wetland. We can't help you do that because that'd be in violation of the State Wetland Conservation Act and also the U.S. Farm Bill
Swamp Buster
rules. So those are things we can't do, but we can definitely improve soil health, that you have better infiltration so that when we do have drought, you've got more water stored in your soil profile. And when it does rain, you got better infiltration, so you continue to store more water. And hopefully we do see some rain soon.
Yeah. And the other thing we can do when you're doing the tile through the wetland, like Dennis said, is we can kind of help you stay out of trouble. That's also something that the NRCS and Soil Water can help do. Sometimes the things you want to do might actually get you in more trouble, and you're not even aware that it could get you in trouble. And when you come into the office and say, hey, I want to tile through this, we can actually say, well, you know what, maybe that's not exactly what you want to do because that's going to violate the state rules or violate the Swamp Buster rules. Let's do it this way. We're not saying you can't tile. We're just saying you can't tile maybe in that particular location, or we're going to have to do an alternative type of an option. But then that falls in the same thing that Dennis said earlier, farm the best, buffer the rest. If you're tiling something that you have because it's all wet, maybe that's not the appropriate use for it. Maybe we need to develop a wetland in that location and stop putting resources into there and farm the stuff that you're getting a good crop from.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different options, and we have producers we have staff that will help producers get that.
Kayla Weckworth, one of the newest employees with the NRCS, and Kayla, Chris was mentioning that you're doing some office work, but you've also been out in the field. Has there been anything in the field right now that you've seen that you've really grasped, that you think, this is cool, I want to do this as part of my job? Are you seeing anything out there?
I feel like there's been all of it's been quite interesting, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went out and did a irrigation uniformity testing where we set out the cups in a line and measure for the producer if their center pivot irrigation system is functioning as it should be and distributing a uniform amount of water over the entire area that it runs across.
Yeah.
That was very interesting to do. We went out and did a soil boring for a manure flat to, just test the profiles of the soil and see what's down there to see if they need to add some sand or clay to keep stuff from leaching where it shouldn't.
Sure, yeah.
That's a very unique machine on the back of that truck to bore into the ground.
Yeah. Well, and these are some practices, I mean, unless you guys can't provide it, farmers are just going to keep farming probably, right?
Yeah, that's true. We have done a lot of animal waste management systems in Stearns County because we're the #1 dairy county in Minnesota, and we also have lots of poultry and some beef and other animals out there. So there's just a tremendous need to properly store that manure. And then we also got close to 300 lakes. Yeah, so it's a potent combination, when you've got a lot of manure and you want to make sure you apply that following a nutrient management plan and try to get it applied at the right time of the year so you don't have it running off into our surface waters like our lakes. So, yes, there's a tremendous need out there in Stearns County for a lot of these conservation practices.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anything else come to mind that you've done out there in the field, Kayla?
We've gone out to look at soil erosion and slope measurement to make sure we don't have producers unknowingly losing a lot of their soil just to the rain hitting it and washing it away.
Mm-hmm.
So going out and measuring the slopes and looking at the soil health, seeing if it's crusting and not letting water through it, and testing infiltration for them just to give people a rundown of just what kind of soil they have out there.
Kayla had mentioned the different soil types in Minnesota, how she was just, I guess, taken back compared to where she came from in Virginia. And is Minnesota unique in that, Dennis? Do we have a lot of different soil types here?
Yeah, we do. And Stearns County is probably the epicenter of
really?
That uniqueness. Yeah, we had a couple of recent glacial activities, Des Moines and Superior glaciers come and pound this part of the state. And that's part of the reason why you see things like the Bonanza Valley, which is a lot of outwash sand from glacial material. You see the Avon Hills and the Sauk River Channel Lakes, and that combo probably was a combination of a glacier moving a lot of that material into the Avon Hills area. Then we've got the Mississippi River, the Unoka Sand Plains on that end. So if we had a Minnesota Association of Soil Scientists tour in Stearns County here last year, and we're in Two River Park, and the attendees, the soil scientists, were just impressed with the variety of soils within a 1 mile walking distance. Where we had several soil pits, and it was just amazing. Yeah, so this is a very unique area. A lot of soil scientists like hanging out here, which I am one of them.
And Kayla kind of rubbed her hands there too. It's like almost the dream job, isn't it, for an agronomist? Yeah, dream area. Yeah.
For some of us, there are the soil scientist folks. They're an odd breed. So they're a unique group of people that are very specific to their needs. I mean, they dig in dirt continuously, and I love Stearns County. Don't get me wrong, but I have to poke fun at the soil scientists every once in a while.
A soil freak.
Soil freak? Yeah, maybe that might have slipped my mind.
Randy, I was going to just mention we do have a couple of activities coming up too.
Yes.
One of the things is Soil Water Conservation District NRCS offices. We like to have outreach activities to, share conservation stuff with our landowners. And one of the activities coming up here is a shoreline restoration tour. This is going to be for landowners on the Sauk River chain of lakes. And hopefully we'll have a little extra seating if you just want to see what they've been doing on some of the projects on the Sauk River chain and on your lake. Like I said, we got 300, and the Sauk River chain is a pile of them right there.
Yeah.
But they're going to have a bus tour to learn about shoreline restoration and its benefits. The tour includes several stops along the Sauk River chain of lakes to showcase various restoration projects in different stages. You'll also have an opportunity to hear from local landowners about their experiences with shoreline restoration. This is going to be on Thursday, August 10th. It's going to be from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m., and it's going to be a bus taking off from the Richmond Lions Community Park. It's located right there in Richmond.
Mm-hmm.
And the bus will pick up and drop off there, so parking is also available there. The cost will be $10, which includes pizza and beverages. And if registration exceeds capacity, priority will be given to landowners on the Sauk River chain of lakes.
Okay.
So I don't think we're there yet. So
you can be anybody that wants to register,
yes.
But if you're a landowner, maybe consider this.
Yeah, especially if you're on the Sauk River chain of lakes.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great tour, and it's a great opportunity to, a lot of people will look at these shoreline naturalization projects and say, it looks kind of weedy, but we can also visit with the landowners, and they'll say, well, it's a bit of a work to make sure the weeds stay out of it on the front end, but once it gets established, it's absolutely gorgeous. And these landowners will be sharing that information. And if you could, you just got to visit our website and click on the calendar page, and you'll see Shoreline Restoration Tour. And if you could RSVP by August 3rd, that would be great.
So there are some projects on the chain of lakes already that they will be looking at.
Correct. There's some that have been established for a long time and some that are just getting started right now. Yeah, so they've got a variety of folks we're going to be visiting, and Greg Berg is our riparian specialist and implementation team lead. He'll be doing a lot of the coordination and discussion along with the landowners, and we've got a bunch of landowners lined up, a half a dozen. So it's going to be a really fun and exciting, and having pizza and beverages, that does sound like a good evening.
It really does. Yeah.
3 to 8 p.m., and RSVP by August 3rd for the August 10th event.
Nice.
We also have an activity coming up at the Rosholt Research Farm. We have a field day out there. That's going to be August 17th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that is free. But you should register so we can get a head count for lunch. And again, visit our website, and I can give you the www for that, or just Google or use the search engine Stearns County SWCD, and it'll pop up.
Okay.
Which is a lot easier than me saying blah 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 blah.
You're trying to write it all down.
Yeah. Exactly. Just Google us.
Got it.
We don't mind getting Googled. Okay, so that is going to have several topics, and it includes the ag-centric trailer. They got a technology trailer through the Central Lakes College. They're going to be bringing that down. The AURI is going to give an update on Kernza. AURI is the Ag Utilization Research Institute. Kernza is a new crop that we're exploring. It's a perennial, and the grain from this intermediate wheatgrass is called Kernza. They're going to give an update on some of the most recent food products and beverage products coming from that. We also are going to talk about when nitrogen is managed right in irrigated sands. Do cover crops help corn yield and the environment? So that's going to be an interesting discussion there. Also going to talk about lessons learned from irrigation and nitrogen management, a study done here in central Minnesota at the Westport and Becker Research Farms. And we're also going to discuss, along with Kernza, long-term water quality results from some of the information being collected out there. We've got Kernza planted along with prairie and alfalfa, and we've got suction lysimeters, and we're harvesting the crop and also collecting water samples underneath these crops to see how much nitrate is slipping through our root profile. And what we're discovering is a lot of these perennial cropping systems have very little nitrate slipping through. So these are the type of crops we'd like to have growing in areas like our Cold Spring Melrose, where we have a slightly rising concentration of nitrates in our groundwater that is used to make beer and provide water for individuals. What? I slipped beer in there?
Yeah, you slipped beer in there.
I thought we were going to make it through one without the mention of beer, but we didn't quite make it. Almost got through it, but didn't quite make it.
That close. 5 minutes away.
It is Friday.
Yeah, it is Friday.
So once again, if folks, that's Thursday, August 17th, when that event is, and if you could RSVP by August 11th, that'd be great. Just go and visit our website. There's a link right there, and it's easy to do, and you'll be registered, and you'll be able to get some great information, and also have free lunch.
Is that Kernza Food Plot still over by Ricori? Do they have that?
We were working with the Ricori FFA chapter. They are going to be establishing a new plot.
Okay.
The first one was unsuccessful. We did not provide the right timing with the previous crop being a perennial or a cereal rye actually seeded into the next crop of Kernza, and we had trouble controlling that because there's not a lot of herbicides. It's better using oat, which doesn't carry over as easily. That's after winter, it doesn't usually sprout the following year. So we're redoing that using some of the new agronomic information that we've gained in producing Kernza.
It's all a learning process, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And we do have another activity. So August, we got a lot of stuff going on. We also have a cover crop field day, plant it, grow it, profit from it. And that's going to be Thursday, August 24th, and that'll be from 8:30 to 3. That's going to be out in Spring Hill, 343 3rd Avenue.
Just Google the website and you'll find it. English is hard for Dennis this morning.
Dennis, that's kind of your home turf, that area over there. You could just say near somebody's place or something, right?
Out there by Dustin Freeler.
There you go. All right.
And that, again, is free. And it's going to be a great event. We're going to have a lot of demonstrations. We're going to have some equipment out there so you can actually see this stuff work. And I'll share some additional information the next time on KASM before that event. So, once again, that's free. That'll be Thursday, August 24th, 8:30 to 3. And it's out by Spring Hill, close to Dustin Freeler's area out there. And we will share more at the next show.
Absolutely.
I just want producers and listeners to remember that this is kind of the time when we have lots of workshops, lots of field days and things and opportunities for people to learn. And one of the important things of going to these and attending these is that you can start to see other folks and other producers that are attending these also, and start maybe developing the networks that you need to support your decisions. And so it's really great to attend these and look for those producers, those ones that when you go to a cover crop training, you see the same people there each time. It's like, oh, maybe those people are interested in cover crops and we should have a conversation. That's another thing that our staff can help with producers, is we can help you connect with someone who is actually doing what you want to do. So if you are interested in cover crops, we have people who we've worked with 5 years ago, 10 years ago on putting cover crops in, that they have kind of gone through the school of hard knocks and have something that works. So we can help connect you with those folks who have gone through that school of hard knocks, and maybe you can avoid some of those bumps in the road. And so there's a lot of benefits to stopping into the office. You can find out about local workshops and trainings. You can start to identify people who are working with you. We can help get you connected to those folks, and we can really start to develop a network that will assist in implementing conservation that you're interested in.
That's awesome. Are you going to be at the Stearns County Fair at all?
Yes, we're going to have a booth there.
Nice.
And we'll have a nice setup there, a lot of pamphlets and brochures for folks to grab. We won't have somebody working it all weekend.
Right.
We were at Curd Fest for that event. They had 1,500 people there.
Nice.
That is just amazing. I would say that's our breakfast on the farm type of activity here in Stearns County. And the Redhead Creamery is also adding the distillery restaurant component to the Redhead Creamery, and that is just going to be a fantastic place to visit.
Wonderful. Dennis and Chris, if somebody wants to reach out to the office, a phone number that they can call is
320-251-7800, extension 3.
Wonderful.
Request Dennis.
Request Dennis. Kayla, thank you for joining us this morning here on KASM.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we look forward to maybe hearing Kayla down the road. Once she gets more acclimated, she may fill in for Chris one day, right,
Oh,
Chris?
absolutely. Maybe next month. We'll just see how things work out.
Awesome. And again, we'll send this show to Dennis and Brittany over at St. Cloud, and they'll put it on their website, so that is available if you want to listen to the show. Right?
And we'll be back on Tuesday, August 22nd, and we'll talk about more of the great things that are happening in our office. Thank you, Randy.
Excellent. Thank you, Dennis Fuchs, Chris Hogge, and Kayla.
Enjoy your day.
Yep, enjoy your day. Don't forget to grab a dilly bar on the way out. It is ice cream month. You know that.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. There they